beautiful people. Happy weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. It's an awesome day. It's actually super exciting. It's getting me so excited. As you know, I have my brand with We Are Love & Co. And yeah, I'm all about spreading love around the world. So Valentine's Day, as much as for a very long time I was not a big fan of it, just like everything's so expensive for no reason and just working at a florist for so long. But I became more and more interested about Valentine's Day, more so because I started believing that every day can be Valentine's Day, and every day can be love day and loving another person, loving another human being out there in the world. And yeah, so now I'm actually excited. Okay, alrighty, let's get to what's happening on this table. I wanted to do a cute little photo shoot for Valentine's Day, especially with our product, our new product. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. But also I thought, why not talking about it and what I've done on this table and how I've done a few things, so I can give you a little bit more insight of like how to create something a little fun for your parties, for your birthdays and showers, whatever it may be. Let's get down to this. I'm gonna go through a few items or a few elements that I've like incorporated into this table, but also I'm going to talk a little bit individually about what I've done and why I have done a few things like that. Okay, as you can see, instead of bunching the balloons, I've kind of placed them individually, and right now to hold them like that you can use the sand whatever sand weight thingies or I've just taped them down on the floor because it's just a temporary thing, but it could also work too, okay, because they're not too heavy. I like the concept of repetition as well as the parallel concept, and rather than like having a bunch of balloons in one side. That's, I think it's also like very effective in terms of presentation, but sometimes something like this creates more perspective into the design, especially if you don't have some sort of a backdrop. This is always a really good idea to have balloons like that individually. You can have them in different tiers or just like more or less in the same height. So when I'm creating something like this, I always think about height and height variations. Sorry, I know I'm like using my hand and I've cut myself and it's pretty hurtful, so maybe I use this hand. Height is such a big key, okay, because it's kind of like also if I stand aside, you want to kind of see what works also to fill this blank space. So height is such a good effective kind of a point in terms of what to place and how to place things. And I think height creates a lot of like movement. The possibilities that we can create with having things on different levels is so much better and prettier than having things more flat. Okay, as you can see, I have a little bit of a plexiglass cube and I placed that, and I thought I'll bring, since I am working with mostly like pink colors, I thought why not using this fabric again from our high tea inspired video that I used as a runner. So I thought I'd kind of like bring it and just use a little bit of it here, well not a little bit of it, but kind of like bunch it, kind of hang it down and show still a little bit of the plexi because it's nice. That's the only reason I'm using it, because it's clear and clean. So having a little bit of this also creates a movement and makes it more softer and flowier, as we've already talked about before. I guess I can let this go so I can talk with both hands. And then of course having a cake in the center. I'm sure you've seen on many photos on Pinterest or Instagram and many like awesome creative projects that most people have done. Cake is nice to have it in the center. I don't always put it in the center unless it's my focal point. I sometimes put it on the side if I have other things happening that could compete with the cake in terms of visual perspective. But obviously because it's my biggest item, I item or element or yeah, biggest element on my table, I prefer to put it in the center so it attracts as much view and as much exposure as it can, okay? And obviously it's such a cute cake that right away your eye travels to it and like it's drawn to it. Pretty much this is what I asked Yvonne from Sugar Penguin Cakery to make for me, and I had this amazing crown that I thought it would look super cute to use, okay? And then the next thing I was so certain that I wanted to do was the heart-shaped foams that I've already purchased. I have a little time lapse on my Instagram, so make sure you watch it. But it's a heart-shaped foam, like oasis foam for fresh flowers. And then carnations. I love carnations so much, and they're making a way back to the, you know, the world and the fashion world and the event world, and I think they're just such awesome flowers. So I really knew that I wanted to do that as well. And I also love mixing flowers and sweets or food together, and I'm always thinking about how can I do that to obviously make sure that the sweet or the food is still edible but also like really pretty, okay? So as soon as I found these like heart-shaped foams, I knew I'm gonna put cookies or cake pops or whatever I'm gonna be getting after on top of it, just to kind of like have it a bit of a display. So obviously, as you can see, we got the cookies and the meringues that I have gotten from, these are from Whole Foods. So cute, right? Like just placing it on top without any, you know, any fuss or anything, just placing it. And then I was on Instagram and these beautiful macaron cake pops, the heart shape with a little bit of like a gold. I was like, I have to go and get these. So yesterday I ran there and picked these two up. They were the last two left, so I'm glad I got them. And since this is a foam, I kind of shoved them in there, and I used one of my stir sticks, the Sprinkle Love, to just go and fill in the blank a little bit. And then just placing these cookies by my friend Julie from the Whisk. And they're so stunning. They're blush and cream color with the gold. Oh my god, so precious. And just kind of like stacking them on, you know, just as a two a little bit. So working with the cake stands, it's always nice to bring obviously your eye down table level, which is nice to use like more flat items. For this, I have this beautiful marbly golden pink, which was perfect for these cookies. And what I like to do is not putting so much stuff on each plate or tray or whatever. I always go minimal, but I go more, right? Like I have like maybe a few different plates or cake stands that are displaying the same cookies, but they're all being presented differently. On this tray also, it's always, I'm doing the exact same way of presenting the cookies, but as meringues. So again, two and then one on top, okay? And not filling it up with too many, because again, I want it to be super clean and visually presentable. And then what else? Okay, so I thought it's always nice to bring, you know, adding your drinks or your glassware, especially if you got like fun glassware on your table. So I have these awesome polka dot gold glasses, but again, repetition is also a key, right? Like just putting 4 of them, and obviously a bottle of champagne, gold, why not? It just works. Another thing that I love using in my cake tables or sweet tables, or yeah, if it's appropriate and if it kind of like works with the theme, or if it works with the party and it's like aligned with your client or whatever, I love using some, you know, frames with a little bit of saying, or the image. If it's like, I don't know, I'm doing a baby shower in a couple weeks, a royal prince themed, so maybe I'll get some crowns and I don't know, like print it and then put them into the frame, okay? And flowers, these are just spray roses, singular. I've cut them and placed them into a mini bud vase, and just in different heights, okay? So I can, again, doing the same height shebang, All right, these pineapples, oh my God, I am in love. I am in love with pineapple flower. These are just like some of my favorite just things, even just to have, because they're so cool. It's not a fruit, it's just a flower looking pineapple. And when I saw them, I was like, I don't care, I'm just gonna get two for myself. But then I thought it just works really cool to place it in here because I needed a little bit of a height on this side of my table. So I played with this and it kind of worked. And I was like, okay, since I'm using pineapple here, why not bringing these pineapples here and doubling it on this side with the same height variation? But then again, it's kind of like, okay, we got some gold pineapple and then we got some pink and then everything's golden pink and white and all that. So it's kind of like works, right? And your eye kind of travels and the same element is being repeated, but totally different materials, totally different. This is a live, like, well, I mean, to an extent, live flower. It's in water, and that's just like a glass, like an object that is just being displayed there. Okay, so that's really cool. A couple more things that I want to just mention briefly is remember my sugar cubes, my heart sugar cubes that I told you? This is the lavender one. It came out so good. And I actually left this for 24 hours, and guess what? It's so much more hardier and cleaner within like 24 hours. So do it then. Do it for 24 hours rather than like 12 hours, okay? The pink ones are still looking good, but I feel like these are more like really clean. So do that. Using Area Love & Co mugs. And again, placing your spoon on top with the heart sugar cube. It's always like so cute and pretty, okay? And it's always nice, again, repetition. Although they all say something different. Like, I mean, obviously I have two of them saying one thing and the middle one, it just says love. But repetition of like the same thing being repeated a few times in a row, right? It's just so much more effective than one item, okay? And then what else do I have to tell you? Or something else. Oh yes, this guy over here. I just had it on my shelf and I was like, why not? Like, it just looks really cool and it kind of makes it more whimsical and prettier because it's so girly and it's so like pink and pretty. And I thought having a little bit of like lighting with these like LED cute little lights in the globe, it just looks so much nicer and it brings a little bit more, I don't know, like it just brings a little bit more like fun into the whole setup. Obviously with my heart shebang, like little ornaments, my hearts, like, you know, the concrete one over there, just placing them around. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, that's it. We have done the photos as well, so I'm gonna incorporate some of those photos in between the video or maybe towards the end of the video, and I'm gonna show you what Ida Miri Photography has done for me in terms of like taking these photos. It looks so great. Yeah, I'll post them along with the video so you get a more sense of like close up of like each element and how things are being presented. And yeah, just message me if you have any questions or thoughts and ideas, and if you want to see more of something like this, I'm always more than happy to create more. Have a great rest of your day. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying my channel so far, and I cannot wait to show you more. Okay, have an awesome day. Bye bye guys.